What do a $47 million fraud scheme, a kick to the face that went viral, and a paddle flying into the crowd have in common? Pickleball. Yeah, that pickleball, the fastest growing sport in America, the one you play every Tuesday. But when millions of dollars are at stake and egos get bruised, the friendly sport becomes a battlefield. From on-court violence to financial crimes that destroyed lives, today we're revealing the most embarrassing meltdowns in pickleball history. Buckle up. February 2023, Lakeville, Minnesota. Pro player DJ Young is in the men's doubles semifinals. Match point. He goes for a volley and it goes long. Frustrated, Young slams his paddle down on the court. But this isn't your average paddle toss. The paddle hits the ground, launches into the air, flies over the net, and sails the entire length of the opposite court before landing in the second row of spectators. The crowd gasps. Young immediately retrieves the paddle, apologizing profusely. He later posts on social media, "There are a lot of emotions when you're playing pickleball professionally. There are no excuses, but I'll be better." The PPA wasn't having it. Young received the first groundbreaking fine in pickleball history for behaviors that put the safety of others in danger. The embarrassing part? If that paddle had just hit the net like a normal tantrum, nobody would have cared. But that unlucky bounce made him internet famous. For all the wrong reasons. September 2023, Cincinnati. Tyson McGuffin, 5-time Grand Slam champion, family man, and Mr. Most Electrifying Man in Sports, just lost a heated singles match to Tyler Long. After the match, thinking he's off camera, McGuffin walks by and throws up a middle finger. But here's the thing about 2023. You're never off camera. The incident went viral immediately, with people debating whether McGuffin should embrace the heel role in pickleball, or whether it was just heat-of-the-moment frustration. McGuffin, known for his UFC fandom and talking about choking out people who annoy him, found himself at the center of pickleball's biggest controversy of the year. The lesson? In the social media age, one split-second decision can define your season. PPA Tour. Frederico Staksrud versus J.W. Johnson. Men's singles semifinal. Things are getting heated. Game 2, Johnson hits a passing shot. Staksrud calls it out. Johnson challenges and wins. The video replay overturns Staksrud's call, sending the match to Game 3.
Johnson, oh no, the call is wide, so that challenge saga could come into play sooner than we think.
Challenge of the out call. The out call pushes it side out, 10-11. We'll now proceed with video review.
Early in Game 3, Staksrud receives a technical warning for ball abuse. Then, while switching sides with Johnson leading 6-2, he gets a second technical foul for language, giving Johnson a point and making it 7-2. But Staksrud isn't done. He appeals to the head referee, trying to get the second technical overturned. When the ruling is upheld, he gets a third technical warning for calling the head referee over a call that wasn't overturned, giving Johnson another point to make it 8-2.
The head ref was called out to dispute the lead ref's technical warning and awarding of a point. The head ref has upheld the technical warning. That results in an additional technical warning to Mr. Staksrud, an additional point to Mr. Hunter. We'll resume play.
So here we are, because Staksrud called over Don.
3 technicals, 2 free points, 1 epic meltdown. Johnson closed out the match minutes later. And Staksrud? He alleged post-match that referees were biased against him because of his Argentinian heritage. When you're down 8-2 and 2 of those points come from your own technical violations, that's not bias. That's a meltdown. May 2024, MLP Atlanta. A player submits a paddle for routine testing. The paddle fails. Why? There's an illegal substance on it. The player? Andrei Daiscu. The UPA fined Daiscu $50,000, suspended him for 60 days, and placed him on probation for a year. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Daiscu admitted the paddle's surface had been altered, but claimed it was never intended for competition use. It was a training paddle, used to help his hitting partners simulate elite-level play. According to the Dink, Daiscu essentially got unlucky. The paddle was one of many he had, and it was dropped off for testing by someone mistakenly. Daiscu's response? Professional. He posted, "There was no intent to use the paddle in question during competition. It was mistakenly submitted for testing. The paddle has never been used in competition. The UPA has rules and policies. Paddle testing is the player's responsibility. I will abide by their decision." But $50,000 for a paddle that was never used in competition. That's a lesson learned the expensive way. Quang Duong, rising star, social media sensation, and the man who said to the PPA and MLP, "You need me more than I need you." Well, the UPA called his bluff. Memorial Day weekend 2025, Duong plays in a non-UPA sanctioned pickleball event in Vietnam. He even posts about it on Instagram. The UPA response, swift and brutal. $50,000 fine, suspension from 1 PPA event, suspension from 4 MLP matches. But Duong didn't stop. He missed the MLP mid-season tournament without pre-approval, another breach of contract. July 2025, the UPA had enough. They terminated Duong's contract entirely, citing multiple and repeated violations of the exclusivity terms of the agreement. The UPA statement read, "Despite numerous attempts to work with Duong and his team, including conversations, warnings, and fines, there have been continued and consistent misrepresentations of facts and contract breaches." His teammate, Zay Navratil, summed it up. "I don't think the UPA can have their athletes running roughshod over the league. There needs to be serious ramifications for players who simply just skip events. When you're building a massive brand in Vietnam but violating your contracts at home, that's an expensive gamble." We covered this in a previous video, but it deserves another mention. November 2024, Quintana Roo, Mexico. Championship point. Peter Schonk wins. He's celebrating, goes to tap paddles with his opponent, and the paddle falls out of the guy's hand. Schonk immediately bends down to pick it up, and then his opponent kicks him directly in the face. The kick is so hard it knocks Schonk unconscious, knocking his hat off and pulling the net down with him. Schonk lost consciousness for 3 hours and had to go to the hospital. The aftermath? Schonk chose not to press charges, saying, "I have a family, 2 healthy businesses, and I play pickleball for recreation and challenge. I don't have time to waste with this guy." The video got 2.4 million views. It became the most talked about moment in pickleball that year. And the embarrassing part, the entire pickleball community was divided on who was actually at fault. Some blamed Schonk for possibly slapping the paddle. Others blamed the kicker for the violent response. When your meltdown sparks that level of debate, that's unforgettable, and not in a good way. But all of those meltdowns, they pale in comparison to the biggest embarrassment in pickleball history. Meet Rodney Rocket Grubbs, USA Pickleball Ambassador, Pickleball Hall of Fame candidate, owner of Pickleball Rocks, which he called the world's most recognized pickleball apparel brand, and allegedly a con artist who ran a massive Ponzi scheme. Grubbs traveled to pickleball tournaments around the country, charming players and asking them to invest in his company, offering promissory notes worth $25,000 at 12% interest. The pitch? He'd tell investors there was one more slot available, making it seem exclusive and time-sensitive. But here's the problem. Court documents show Grubbs owes nearly $47 million to over 500 investors across the US, Canada, and Portugal. During a bankruptcy hearing, Grubbs admitted to using new investors' funds to pay back previous investors, the literal definition of a Ponzi scheme. In January 2024, the Indiana Secretary of State issued a cease and desist order, alleging Grubbs committed securities fraud. In December 2024, the FBI raided Grubbs' Brookville, Indiana home, with agents seen carrying out boxes. The victims? Devastating. One investor, an 87-year-old woman who knew Grubbs for decades, lost her last $100,000. In May 2025, Grubbs waived his bankruptcy discharge, meaning he remains personally liable for his debts and creditors can pursue payment. This isn't just an embarrassing meltdown. It's a criminal investigation that destroyed lives, ruined friendships, and tarnished the entire pickleball community. From paddle throws to Ponzi schemes, from middle fingers to million-dollar fines, these meltdowns prove one thing. Pickleball might be fun and friendly, but when things go wrong, they go spectacularly wrong. The lesson? Keep your cool, read your contracts, and for the love of the sport, don't run a Ponzi scheme. But hey, pickleball isn't all chaos and controversy. If you want to see the best of pickleball, jaw-dropping highlights, incredible around-the-post shots, untold stories from the pros, and the moments that make this sport amazing, you're in the right place. Here at Pickleball Passport, we bring you everything from the believable to the unbelievable drama. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss the action. Which meltdown shocked you the most? Drop it in the comments and tell us, what do you want to see next? More highlights? More untold stories? more drama. Because this sport never stops delivering, and neither do we.